Hello, Jerome Fletcher, City Manager, City of Northport, on the job today with the Natural Resources Division. Let's go.
Before a residential lot is cleared, our Natural Resource Division visits the site to look for wildlife and trees that need to be protected.
On this site, we happen to have some gopher tortoise burrows.
Okay.
And there's some few steps that we could do to help mitigate any kind of impact to those tortoise burrows. So over here we have a tortoise burrow that is excluded. So they don't necessarily have to remove the tortoises to build. If there's enough room, they could provide an exclusionary buffer for the building.
Okay.
You leave it in place. So with the apron and then the shape of the burrow, you could tell it's kind of a D shape, like you would see a tortoise shell shape. So there's kind of rounded on the top, flat on the bottom.
Okay.
That's how you know it's a tortoise burrow. So when we see these, we report it back to the builder, and they have to get a gopher tortoise survey by an authorized gopher tortoise agent, and that permitting is done through the FWC. This silt fence is actually put up not for erosion, but for the tortoises on the outside, prevents them from coming into the site, so there's no other impacts to those tortoises that are still in the area.
Okay.
So they're required to put this up during building. If they don't, and tortoises come on site during building, that's stop work, and they have to stop and redo it again.
Once wildlife is protected, the team starts looking at the trees on the property.
So when we go to our survey, we like to verify tree sizes, or DBH. So DBH is diameter at breast height. It's about 54 inches high on the tree. And it's a 0, and it's a 15.5 inches diameter. And so that's considered a protected tree. In the city of Northport, we classify our trees as protected or heritage. Protected is from 12 inches to 23 and 7/8 inch diameter.
Right.
And then once it hits 24 inches, that's considered a heritage tree. And anything below 12 inches is not considered protected.
I wanted to know how Joe got into this kind of work and why he cares so much about it.
Originally from Pittsburgh, came down to be a zookeeper. There's a school up in Gainesville, Santa Fe Community College, but then I learned more of Florida. So being from up north, you think the beaches. I learned Florida's more than just that. And so I went to the University of Florida to get my bachelor's in the wildlife ecology and conservation, and then proceeded with my master's in ecological restoration. So I just love Florida and all the habitats in Florida, and I also like it because we can also conserve and save while continuing to build, so we can do two things at once without having a discrepancy on one or the other. So we can continue to build. As you see, we can still save tortoises.
Yes.
We can make sure everything is safe and preserve canopy cover.
After that first visit, and once the lot is selectively cleared, the arborist steps in to focus on the trees that can be saved.
So you see here, these trees with the ribbon on them, those are proposed to be saved, and they are, you see this beautiful understory of saw palmetto. It's going to be a nice little area. Yeah, exposure to a natural setting for the homeowner, and that's what we're going for.
Very natural.
One of the things we really value in Northport is live oak trees. And so this one is outside of the building footprint, up here in the corner, and it was able to be conserved. And you can see it's been out in the woods for all this time throughout its life, and it's got vines hanging off of it. And with some minimal and proper pruning, this is going to be just a beautiful tree. We come here and do an inspection to make sure the trees are properly excluded from the construction area.
Okay.
There's no fill on top of the critical root zone, which can impact the tree, in a negative way, obviously. We see, obviously, the tree is above ground, but there's a whole network of roots below ground that we want to also make sure are protected.
For Jeremy, this is more than just checking boxes. It's about the future of the city and its environment.
I've been in environmental work. I went to school for environmental work. So it's something that I took on at an early age. And here in Northport, I was, lucky enough to be an arborist. And we really want to see the value, and I see the value in the city in the future in the environment
Absolutely.
and making sure there's that balance between development and environmental protection. And trees is a big part of that, right? There's a lot of value in trees.
Once the home is built and the grading is finished, the team comes back one last time to make sure everything that was promised on paper exists on the ground.
One of the other things we keep looking at is we got to hear of all the trees that they said that they were going to save and the benefit that it has, because also we now have full-grown trees that are here.
Beautiful
we got
tree.
This palm tree here.
Yeah.
We got a nice large oak tree here on the side as well that, you know, it takes numerous years to get to this point and stuff. And so it's already great and established there. It'll provide a little bit of shade onto the house. Most likely help them a little bit of a cooling. Took a lot of effort and care into saving these trees and stuff on here. And as the second lot, as you look, and all these oak trees and stuff that are sitting on here, you can see we have this great mixture between, we have the palm trees there, we have the pine trees in here, we got the oak trees and stuff. And just as we look at these lots that we have, you know, that mixture of trees and canopy that we have, we still continue with that. And, you know, it's just a beautiful thing. Like I said, you don't just get this for a couple planted trees, but the conservation and stuff of it.
It's not just about what gets built. It's about what's allowed to stay.
So Northport has a requirement on shrubs, and that's just really give you more and makes it a nice aesthetics too. So you don't just have this, you know, this building up there, you're staring at these concrete walls, but you actually have nice, you know, plants and stuff already there and going. So you have this beautiful look.
Shawn's also here because he genuinely enjoys being outdoors and working with nature every day.
Well, I'm actually an outdoor person most of the time. So I mean, whether I go out camping or doing things, and I just like seeing some of the different nature. Before I came to the city, I landscaped and stuff there and just enjoyed doing a lot of that. And it just kind of one of those things that just kind of fit right in.
Thank you for joining me today to visit the Natural Resource Division. It was great to see parcel development from the beginning to the end. The thing I learned today was that there is a very deliberate and strategic calculation that can allow the home builder to save money and to save the trees at the same time. I think that's a great win-win. I will see you on the next job.